So, good evening, guys. Welcome to our rank up call. I'm really excited. We are dividing a few, but we are going to go to many. So, I'm really excited about this. This is one of our first of many rank up calls. I love this intimacy of kind of getting back to the roots, starting fresh with new people. And we're going to really take some time tonight to kind of celebrate people and their successes. So, I'm really excited to introduce one of our first. And as you guys come on, if you can mute yourselves, that'd be rad. So I don't have to do it, but I just did anyways. So we're going to kind of hear Kristen's story. She's a new associate director. I'm really excited for her. I really don't know a lot about her story, but I'm excited to hear about it. And she's going to kind of share with us some magical nuggets as she holds on to the baby at the same time, which we love because it is about family. It is about making it work. And we can kind of do this anytime, anywhere. So, Kristen, do you want to kind of get on and kind of share your story with us?
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. When Desiree asked me to be on, I felt really honored. Like, oh, I'm a newly associated director. What can I really share? So I appreciate the faith that everyone has in me, and I'll share my story with you. So, my husband and I started a program at the end of August, and since then we've lost each of us around 50 pounds and been maintaining. And then around January, my coach asked me, Melissa Wagner, she asked me maybe 4 times if I wanted to be a coach. And each time I said, no, I don't have time for that. I have 2 little kids. They're 18 months apart. Obviously, they keep me busy. So I said no. And I just kept thinking about it and the people that I could help. So I finally agreed and was nervous about it, but I did it anyway, and I think that was my first decision that I started doing anyway, even though it made me uncomfortable and pushed me out of my comfort zone. And my husband actually told me, if you're going to do this, you're going to have to do things that you're uncomfortable with, but it'll make you grow. And it has done that more so since I've been on. And I love it. And I love being a mom, but I love being able to share time with adults and talk to adults and feel like I'm helping people the way that I've been helped in my health. And I think some of the things that have helped me get to associate director, I actually didn't realize that I achieved that rank until one day I was in my back office and thought, I ranked up. I didn't even know that. I was so busy just enjoying what I'm doing and helping people. So I've been able to just get out of my comfort zone and do things even though it makes me uncomfortable and reach out to people. And I think something that really changed my mindset was hearing multiple stories of how just offering and letting people know what we do and what this program can do, what coaching can do, changes people's lives. They could be in the worst spot of their life, and things behind closed doors aren't what we know or what they look from appearance wise. So just offering that, you have no idea the changes that it can make in their life. So that was holding me back before, is my own fear. So I am working on seeing the good it can do for everyone else over my own fear that would hold that back. So, and then I think being willing to learn from your mentors is one of the best things you can do. We can always become a student and learn more. We're never going to know everything. And so why not learn as much as you can from as many people as you can? So I've really tried to take advantage of learning from my mentors and my coaches and just growing. And I think the biggest thing I've gotten from coaching is the self-development training and just being able to improve myself and improve my leadership skills, improve my skills as being a mother and a wife and a friend and a coach, and being able to get the reward from knowing I'm helping people become healthy, not just physically, but mentally also, the way that I've been helped. So this has been the most rewarding thing that I've done, coming in right up there with family. So I meant so much to me, and if I can give other people that same fulfillment, then that makes everything. So I think that's part of my story, and I just can't wait to continue to grow and help more people. So hope that helps.
Now, if I could just go find 20 more of you, we'd be doing awesome. You have such a sweet heart too. You know, that's awesome. And I love that you're kind of you're kind of lost in it, right? You didn't even know you had associate director. You're just doing the hard work, and you're really diving into personal development. You're pushing yourself, which is a big challenge for us as adults, being in our own ways. We were talking a lot about this at our Wednesday breakfast today. Like, if we could get like 10 toddlers to run around and do this, they'd be integrated galacticals in like 10 minutes because there's no concepts, right? And you're constantly pushing yourself outside that comfort zone. I'm really excited for you and that baby and your family. I'm glad you joined us. I mean, there needs to be a lot more people like you we need to go find because, like I said, you're just in it. You're in it for the moment. You're in it with the heart, and you're gonna have an amazing business over the next couple of years very quickly. So I'm super excited for you. Thank you so much for sharing. And I definitely got some tips. I mean, constantly push yourself, lean on your mentors, strive to be hungry. I think those are good tips. We'll hear, I'm sure some other ones that are more action based, but I love that one because you can't get into action if you're not working on yourself, right? Because it's the hesitancy. So I think that's the biggest one of the night. So I'm really excited for you. So I'm going to go over to a longtime friend, and I don't even know how long we've known each other, but Mr. David Harrison. I'm excited to kind of rehear his story. I know some of you guys may have heard his story, maybe you haven't, but me and this guy have been running partners for a long time in many areas of life, and it's kind of exciting to see his team grow. They're on the brink of hitting global director, which I'll explain a little bit more in depth what that means. I think that's exciting. That's building structure and stability in your business, creates a little bit more time freedom in certain areas of your life if you wanted to. So Dave, I'm going to let you share your story, man.
Hey, Justin, thanks, man. It's really cool to just see this community just grow and so organically, that phrase, find good people. Crazy thing is when you look for good people, the great ones definitely show up, and that's the thing with this business too. As long as we keep loving on people and serving others and planting seeds, some of those seeds may get picked up by birds, but they might shit them out down the line. You never know. So it's just keep on going and keep on loving on people. I was in the military for about 9.5 years, and even before I joined, I was big boned to where I was in a sweatsuit the night before I even went to MEPS to sign up and sign my contract to go active duty to make weight. So this was an ongoing thing that started when I was really young and carried on through my whole Navy career, where I would crash diet and hit the gym to make weight every 6 months because we had weight requirements. Me being big boned, those requirements just weren't for me. So I'd make it by body fat every 6 months, but it was literally by the skin of my teeth. And, even though I was doing a lot of awesome stuff, jumping out of helicopters and being on a SWAT team and doing all this fun stuff, my weight was just the most challenging thing for me. I ended up getting hurt while active duty. I shattered my pelvis, and the crash dieting in the gym was just completely out of the question. The military ended up separating me because of my injuries. I couldn't do the job they trained me for, so I wasn't useful to them anymore. I was home, single dad, and my weight gain got really bad. I got up to 327 pounds at my biggest and was just completely lost, not sure where I was going to go, what I was going to do, who I was going to do it with, or what the next day was going to bring. And for a whole year and a half after I was able to walk again, after a couple surgeries, I was going to the gym and my weight didn't change. I was stuck at 275 for a little over a year and a half. Now my challenge is I was taking all kinds of supplements. Has anyone done the supplement game here? The pre-workout powders, the energy drinks, I remember drinking 2 Monsters just so I could use the restroom in the morning and go number 2 because I was so hooked on them. And a lot of these things have diuretics and who knows what else. You look at a protein shake and if it's protein in there, it should just say protein on the ingredients, but there's 75 other ingredients in there that they're not telling you what those do to us. So I was going down that road, and I had a little bit of a scare at the VA hospital during the physical. They told me now my liver and my kidney were starting to throw up red flags because of all these supplements I was taking. It really started to scare me to look for something that was going to help me because at the time, my dad was terminally ill, and the only people that were taking care of him were me and my mom. My mom herself had a lot of health challenges. She had fibromyalgia, lupus, Sjogren's, rheumatoid arthritis. And these were just a lot of challenges that just really wore her out to where she was either in bed with her own health problems, or taking care of my dad, and kind of juggling the two. And she was on 22 medications. And after I found this program, because Justin posted a picture where he lost 18 pounds in 2 weeks, and he didn't have a weight loss goal, and it completely blew his mind and mine too when I signed up, going from, all these supplements and not eating and working out harder, trying to lose weight, to sitting on the couch, only focusing on my how I was eating, what I was eating, and when I was eating, and eating a lot, and dropping 30 pounds on my first month. The first person was my mom that I wanted to serve. She signed up with me, and within the first the first 4 days, she was spring cleaning the house, doing things for my dad. It's like something awoke in her that just wasn't there before, and it was really amazing to see. And within 8 weeks, she lost 48 pounds, and she came off of 14 of those medications with this program. So this program is definitely not just about the weight loss; it's all about those victories right there. And 14 medications gone. I mean, it just blew my mind. It blew my mind that we did this not in the gym, not crash dieting, and all we did was focus on our lifelong habits, which is going to keep us healthy. Which my mom is still off those medications today, and this is 3 years later. Ultimately, I ended up getting to my goal weight of 175, where I'm at right now, coming from 275 using this program. And I've just been, it's just amazing. They say, find good people, and the great ones are showing up. And man, I would just love to introduce my man, Joe Albright, right here, who I've had the pleasure of meeting and talking to and serving others with. And man, Joe, take it away, brother.
Thanks, Dave. I'm kind of a newbie to this. I've been in, today it was 7 months today, and it was weigh-in Wednesday for my wife and I. She's in transition right now. She'd lost 87 pounds, and I lost another 3.8 this last week. And my total, I went from 365 about 7 years ago to I'm down to 211 today. So, it's been a whirlwind for me. I mean, 7 months ago, I decided to jump on plan. It was crazy. But let me start my story 7 years ago. 7 years ago, I was at 365. I was in bad shape. I was sick. I thought they were going to cut part of my foot off, if not the whole foot, because I had a toe that was infected and I couldn't get it well. And, a friend of mine got a new needle out in his diabetic test kit, and he poked my finger, and they sent me to the emergency room immediately, and my blood sugar was at 580. And I don't know if you know anything about blood sugar, but that's not good. That's like on the verge of death. So I went in, and they started checking things out, and they got my blood sugar kind of somewhat, under control. And I was kind of still like, I didn't know what I was going to do, because I couldn't walk. I couldn't think. The medications were really messing with me, and I was just really messed up. And I knew I was sick. And not only did the doctors convince me I was sick, but I convinced myself every day when I woke up I was sick. So it was kind of sad. And they went through and they did some testing. They found a spot on my lung. They said I had a severely enlarged heart. So they started sending me to all these different specialists, and people started prodding and probing and testing and scanning and doing all these things. And, all of a sudden, I'm stressed to the max, because now I don't know if I'm going to live, I'm going to die, if I've got cancer, what's going to happen. So anyway, they find out that I didn't have any cancer. So the doctor, I was so relieved to hear that. Connie and I were just like ecstatic, and that was like a big load lifted off of us. And then all of a sudden, the doc says, well, my pulmonary doctor says, you need to go across the hallway now, because the cardiologist, this cardiology specialist here in Lakeland, Florida, is going to, he wants to take a look at you and do some more tests. So here we go again, more tests, more poking, more prodding. Come to find out, once I came back to him, he did a bunch of tests, and he set me down, and Connie was there with me, and he looked me right in the eye, and he said, Mr. Albright, he said, you've got a severely enlarged heart. You're a large man, and we can't put you on the treadmill. And, you know, I don't want to put any chemicals into your body to make your heart race to see what's going on with the stress. And he said, because, you know, I don't feel comfortable doing that. And I said, well, okay, so what are we going to do? Now, granted, he was telling me this stuff in a nice way, but what I heard, you're a fat guy, you're way too fat, and you're too fat to go on a treadmill. And probably what he told me, he says, my advice to you is go home, get your affairs in order, because it looks like you got about 6 months to live. That was 7 years ago. I don't give up easy. So I started looking. I was like David. I was looking and looking and looking. I finally found one day my health was going back downhill. I got down to where everything was controllable, but I still wasn't well. I wasn't good. I was still sick. But I was thumbing through Facebook, which I never do, and I've seen Helen. She was on there. I went to high school with her, and she was holding up a big pair of pants. So I get in touch with her, and I said, hey, what are you doing? I need to do it. And she got back with me, and she got me on plan. 3 days later, I became a coach. I didn't even know what was going on. I just knew I seen a thing that said I'd be 5 times more likely to succeed. And it was either do this or do surgery or do something, you know, because I was going to die. So to make a long story short, I'm still here, folks. Last month, Mike and I were standing around, and we were going back and forth because it was like the day before the end of the month, and trying to figure out, what am I going to do? You know, we went from senior coach, or from regular coach to senior coach to manager, and was like just a little bit away from ranking up again. Well, we're looking at stuff, and we're trying to figure out how we were going to do it and what was going on. And Connie was looking on her computer, and all of a sudden, boom, here we were. We'd ranked up to associate director. So here I'm trying to get the manager and then all of a sudden, boom, here we are, associate director. And I didn't even know. It's just, we didn't even know we were there. So the only thing I can tell you, and I know my timer went off, and I'm sorry, Justin, I went over just a little bit, but the reality is, be consistent. Don't let people get you down. Don't let not nows and those ones that don't sign right away bother you. Just keep on, keep on. I planted banana trees in my backyard. I live down here in Florida 3 years ago. We've been babying those things for 3 years. Guess what? I just now have fruit coming on those trees. You know, you got to be patient. You got to let that fruit develop. And you just have to repeat yourself, repeat yourself, repeat yourself. Just, you know, I'm really, really happy that everybody in our team and just stay with your mentors. Listen to people that know. Surround yourself with successful people. Those kind of things are worth millions and millions. And you know, I'm just so happy to be here. And thank you so much for having me. And I'll throw it back to you. And I'm sorry I went over, but you know, I just get caught up in it.
No, I'm pretty sure you had everybody at all, man. There's no need to apologize. That was amazing. And I think it's just so awesome to hear, like, I don't know how I got here, right? Because you're just so in tune with, like, just sharing with people and loving on people. And that's really what it's about, and not giving up, being consistent. And that's really what it is. I mean, we all have goals. Don't get me wrong. We all have financial goals. We all want to be able to be stable so we can go impact more lives. But if we get just so caught up in that number and we don't realize, just share, right? Like you said with the banana trees. I think, what is it, a palm tree, right? Is it a palm tree or a bamboo tree? Something like you have to water it for 5 years. You see nothing but dirt. And then in that next 6 months, it grows 90 feet or something crazy, right? That's just insane. And it's so true. So I appreciate you getting on. I'm excited for you. You know, I love that. I'm working for manager, all of a sudden associate director, and it's like, what's going on? It's so awesome. I think you have your head in the trenches. You're doing the hard work. I'm blessed and excited you're still here to bring us some more knowledge and love in the world, because we need people. And I'm glad you were able to see this program and follow through with it. And in all of our senses, get out of our own ways to be able to open this program up to our hearts and help do that. So I'm really excited about just everything that's going on here, because these last two speakers are bringing the tone that's proper, and that's just really doing the hard work. the numbers will follow. And I'm really excited about that. So my next favorite one, speaking of waiting for a tree to grow, we won't pick on her too much, but my aunt, she was pretty much a banana tree, I guess you could say, in a nice way. It took her 4 years to sprout, but showed up. And I did an okay job of watering, but I don't say I was too on top of it like I should have been. But I'm really excited because family is important to me. Being able to see lives being changed, especially when it's close to you, is really exciting. And so I want to enjoy introducing Joy. And her team's just killing it over here with some inspirational stuff. So I'll let her share her story and kind of introduce some of her team and what their success looks like. So Joy, you want to take it away?
Yes, well, thank you. Thank you, Justin. Joe, thank you for your story. I love your story. And that's what I love about what we do, right? We all have a different story. Some of our story is weight loss. Some of our story is weight gain. Some of it is wanting to adopt healthier habits. Or some of us, like me, I had a pretty intense career and woke up one day and was really kind of scared about being 51 years old with 10-year-old twins. And where was my life going? So I am approached it a little differently. I didn't have a huge weight loss. I just wanted to feel better. And I was simultaneously watching Justin. He's right. I watched him for 4 years. And I kind of laughed now because I used to kind of bust his chops about the food. And one day I just realized like I was working out and nothing was happening and I didn't feel good. And so I jumped on the program and he suggested I get the coaching kit because he knew I was really stressed with my career. And I was like, yeah, just send that to me also. And didn't really take it seriously. I got the box, it sat in my bedroom. And then I decided to jump on the program. And 6 weeks later, I felt like $1 million. I lost 10 pounds. And that's 40 pounds of pressure. I have scoliosis and I don't have any back pain anymore. It started kind of creeping up. I had mental clarity and more patience. And like I said, I felt really good. At the same time, I was really trying to slow down my career and I partnered with a friend with a clothing line. And so I wanted to share this, but I felt really uncomfortable because she put all the backing up for this company. And I didn't want her to feel I was taking away from the vision of what she wanted. But ironically, she was my first client. And so a few months later, she ended up closing her company. And if I didn't have this to take it and run with it, I would be back working full time. So I've been coaching a little over 2 years, and I have replaced my income, and it's a gift. I feel like I need to personally call Dr. A and thank him for I didn't have to go back to school and get my master's. I didn't have to get a small business loan. I didn't have to buy a franchise. I'm able to help people feel better. I help people mentally feel better and then teach them how to create a business. I've never seen a business model like this. So I approach this as a business model. I'm looking for business partners. And so the next couple of people that you're going to hear from, one of them is Jeanette, who we worked together in actually our first jobs, I think, in fashion 25 years ago. And now I get to create an empire with one of my best friends. There's nothing better than that. We talk all the time. We laugh. It is fun. So if I can give any tips, think about people that you want to build a life with. Put people on that list. I have a whiteboard. There's not one person on that whiteboard that's a client that I'm looking at for coaching. I feel like clients, those are just natural progression. But look for people that have high integrity, work ethic, that light up a room, that you want to be a part of their lives. And so just that leads me to Jeanette. She has the most amazing work ethic. I love her energy. She has really worked through a lot of obstacles, and I'm going to let her share. But it is such a blessing because I have been thinking about her for 2 years. Okay. And she's been coaching a year now. And I want you to tell you, she did not want to do my practice call, but that did not deter me from her being on my heart. So I'm really excited to introduce Jeanette Palmer.
Forget. Okay. Timer's on. Okay. Hi, everybody. My story. So we'll start with Yeah, Joy and I did work together. We've been in the fashion business forever. She has such great nuggets. I just want to say to her, I'm where I'm at with this business because of her and Justin and Jamil and all the leaders, what they teach us on the trainings. They're so important in all the conventions we go to. I try not to miss a single one, even if it's during a trade show. I chose to go to our convention 2 days in Utah and the other 2 days of the show. I mean, I make every effort to make this happen. This has been so amazing for me. And my story is, for 10 years, I've been an independent sales rep. I used to be corporate. And so I used to make bank. And then I went to zero. And it's been zero or check to check to check for 10 years. Didn't matter how hard I worked, how many brands I added on, how many footwear brands. I think I was up to 10 before Joy called me, which all it was busy working a lot of samples. I wasn't making any more money. I was exhausting myself. I wasn't working out. I wasn't seeing friends. I wasn't having fun for 10 years. And like I was turning 55 last year, and Joy called me a year after she had previously called me, and I was like, I'm too busy, can't do it. And I finally was just like, I can't keep up with this work pace and make nothing. I look horrible. I feel horrible, and I want to get out of the situation I'm in, which I was living with an alcoholic who was verbally abusive. And I would never in my life have been in that situation before. I never thought I would end up in a situation like that. And I said, this just has to, everything going on in my life has to stop. So I went on program last May, dropped, I guess, 22, 24 pounds from May to end of July, left the boyfriend, started looking for apartments after my first client. So I started coaching. Joy had me coach at the same time. And I was like, leave me alone. Again, always fighting Joy, because that's how I hate to be told what to do. I'm still working on that personal development. I don't like to be told what to do, but I really need to learn from everybody above me. And actually clients and coaches below me too help me. So, oh, now I lost my thought. Where was I, Joy? Anyway.
Yeah, 58, 52.
Oh yeah, that's it. My first client I signed up, she also became a coach. I go, that's it. I'm looking for an apartment. So I look for an apartment. She's like, whoa. You might want to wait a minute. I go, no. I know my work ethic, and I know if this is how it works, I can do it. So left the boyfriend so May I started, July left him. And then all I've done is been working on building this. So now how I got to, I've been asked to speak because I'm in the 10K club. I am not good or was not good at acquiring coaches. So I wanted on that cruise so bad. I just worked my tail off doing everything we're supposed to do to acquire clients. I had to do the whole 40K in frontline, but for me, I was only at $3,000 frontline. Then I went to 6 during October Madness. Then I wanted on that cruise. So literally December, I doubled my business, was on my couch, probably when everybody's celebrating the holidays, I was on the couch calling people from the minute I woke up till I went to bed at 10 o'clock at night. So 6 a.m. to 10, that's my work ethic. But I was like, when I'm determined on something, I do it. So that's just in me, and thank God that's in me. But the thing is as I've acquired clients and have done this more and more, I just am falling in love with people's stories, in love with helping them. Like, it's the coolest thing ever. Joy and I are always saying to each other, we can't believe what we do. We cannot believe what we do. So my tip for acquiring a lot of people on Facebook when you're first acquiring friends, is I just picked a group I loved, which was a dog rescue. Actually involved with 2. And people love dogs, and I have dogs. And so I just friend requested every single one of them. For those who accepted, their friends. And then when I am reaching out to people, I pick people from that group. So when I put a post for the dogs, whoever responds, that's who I start my connections with. And from that, like today, I signed up. I don't know, Joy, if you saw, my dog Saint, who's sleeping here. I rescued him and here's my story, so I'll be quick. I rescued him in February, and I did some research to see where he came from. He came from Fontana, Justin. I don't know if you, yeah, he was in, anyway, his family wasn't taking care of him. It was an abuse cruelty case. They weren't feeding him, let's put it that way, for 6 months. And so they pulled the 3 dogs. Anyways, he ended up here in Colorado. So I'm like, how did he get here? So I literally did the track from the rescue here. Who was the person before? Who was the rescue before? Who was the rescue before? And then I got to the police department who got him. The gal who runs the animal part of the police department in Fontana, she was at the scene getting him and rescuing him. She signed up today because we've been in contact since I did that rescue or rescued him. She has 100 pounds to lose, and she signed up today, and it's just amazing. Like, I am so honored to be able to help people get healthy and feel great like I do. So I don't look at this as like, I got to do all this work. It's just so fun to me, and I don't even want my day job anymore, but for the time being, I need it to make up for the last 10 years. But anyway, I would just say Facebook groups that you really are passionate about, that you really want to be their friends, and just little by little start the conversations. Be patient, like everybody was saying tonight. You have to be patient because, first of all, there's thousands of people in America, and they're all going to sign up at different times. So just know that's going to be. And I don't know if that's 3 tips, but I have a spreadsheet. Not everybody loves my spreadsheet, but my client support, I'm going to say, is great. Everything's on a spreadsheet, everything I need to do with everybody. And I do it all the way from the message 1 all the way out to the 12-week. And then I also, the 12-week video. And then now I download the sheet from when we start our new month. I download all the clients, and that's everybody's past 12 weeks. I just put it on a Google Docs, go down the list to call everybody, and I'll do it by week. So now I make sure I'm in contact with everybody weekly. I highlight when I when I call them. Like, I just have this whole system that I made fun for myself. So I make sure my support happens. That's why for 6 months, this is 6 months 10K club. And I think I'm going to hit, last month was 11.5. I might hit 13 or 13.5 this month. So it's just because I keep in contact with them. And then they refer people. People push out and cancel, but it doesn't matter because I know I'll get more from just everything we're supposed to do and doing the work. Okay, I'm over, sorry. Hope that helps.
No, that was awesome. That was really awesome. By the way, stay out of my hood, homie. No, I think that's amazing. I think that's great. I think the organization, so I got a spreadsheet organization. I mean, pretty much is the spreadsheet. You're getting referrals based on staying structured because you're able to follow up with these people and be consistent. And at the same time, loving what you're doing and having fun with it. I think that's a huge difference.
Really enjoy it.
On a side note, piggybacking off of your story, I think it's really important to understand that we don't know what's going on in somebody's world, and to just look on the outside in without asking questions or stepping into their world, as Dave Blanchard says. You could look like a successful double six-figure income earner having a blast, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of hidden things that we don't know about that we can inspire people for. So I want a lot of you guys on this call, everybody watching the playback, really understand, 1, we're not a weight loss company, and I'll dive into that a little bit further later. But 2, really don't prejudge people, whether they're skinny all the way up to a 6-figure income earner, whatever area of this program, because until you step into their world and ask these questions, we don't know what's going on. And you could pass somebody up that could really use this, like a Jeanette. You know what I mean? And it's so important to understand that. So I'm really excited. I'll shoot it back to Joy. I know she's got some more amazing coaches rocking and rolling. Jeanette, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for hopping on and sharing your stuff, because I think it's really important in many ways. So thanks.
Well, first of all, Jeanette, thank you. And what Jeanette did not share that I think is really amazing is that we laugh because she got her first client, and I say #5852. That's how much she made. And it was convention. She literally moved out, put her stuff in a moving truck, and went to convention. So it really, and when she left convention, she was all in. And the thing is, she knew what she wanted. She believed in it. And I always say to our team, just don't stop. Just, it took me 8 months to get to ED, guys. Just don't stop. I couldn't even get to senior coach. I just didn't stop. So I love you, Jeanette. I love your passion and your work ethic. And I'm not a spreadsheet person, so you don't have to do spreadsheets. But so I love this because this leads to another person that was on my board for 2 years. And this is a girlfriend from high school, and this is Debbie Asmus. And she was one of my practice calls, and she was not interested in the program. She questioned me about the food and was very concerned that it was in packages. She's a small business owner. She'll tell her story.
It was awful.
She'll tell her story, but she's in, she was a ballerina. I never looked at her even thinking of losing weight. She's a yoga instructor. She does bars. She had her own small business, and she's again, someone I adore and I get to work with every day. And she's growing a really nice organization. So I'm really excited for you to meet Debbie.
Wow. Thanks. Hi, I'm Debbie Asmus. And yes, Joy is my best friend from high school. And I tell all my clients, my best friend from high school got me doing this. And I was possibly, I'm sure, the worst client ever. Took me a year of Joy gently asking. I mean, she was really great. She's asked every once in a while, and I had about 10 pounds I thought I wanted to lose. And no, I'm going to do it organically. I'm going to do it this way or that way. And I live in Boulder, Colorado, where I joke that if you're not training for, the Olympics, you're nothing. I mean, it's hardcore in these parts with physical activity and nutrition and diet, as I'm sure for you guys in California. But anyway, Joy, after about a year, said, "So how's that going?" I forgot to set my clock. I just realized. And I was like, "Yeah, it's not going that well. I still have that 10 pounds to lose." And we just kind of we're talking. And finally I was like, what do I have to lose really, but a few pounds. And I think there may have been some swear words in there between me and Joy a little bit, like, just do it, And so I did. And 6 weeks later, I was down 15 pounds. My hot flashes that had gotten out of control were gone in 3 weeks. And I was a fan. However, I did not sign up to coach. Joy was like, "You'd be great. You'd be great." I'm like, "Yeah, I have a business. I'm a massage therapist. This is not my thing." And those of you who, if you've seen on Facebook, I think I posted in Team Hope or something recently. I did yesterday, what's today? Wednesday. Monday was actually my last official massage. In fact, my last massage, done. I'm done. Not doing any more massages. And really just by chance, I was talking to Joy and I was saying, "I'm going to have to find a part-time job because I'm done doing massage. I can't physically do it anymore." And she said, "Well, maybe coaching could be your part-time job." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, maybe it could. Why not?" And I really didn't really think about it replacing my massage income, but it will very soon, if not already. I'm not exactly sure about the numbers, but working like 10 to 12 hours a week in between my massage clients. Most of I think all of my first 5 clients were people that I actually know from the yoga and fitness industry that 100% never did I think would do anything like this. They were like me. Why would they do it? And they did, and they loved it. And I've gotten tons of referrals from them. It's grown into something that a year ago, I never, I'm going to start crying, would have imagined that I'd be doing this. Never would I have thought this is what I'd be doing with my life. And I'm here to say that that's what I'm doing. Like, I'm not looking for a part-time job. Like, this is it. This is the full-time job. This is the life. My husband and I all the time, like the other day, he just blurted out in like the middle of the living room, "I love Optavia." And I was like, "Me too." Like, it's so funny. He is down almost 25 pounds. So I'm super impressed with him. I think he might be lighter than when we first met 27 years ago. So 3 things that I wrote down. Of course, I wrote 4 because I can't keep it down to 3. The 3 things that are working for me, I think, well, first of all, and I didn't even write this down, is somebody asked me the other day, I was in a class, and they said, "What's one thing that you like about yourself?" like a positive thing. And I said my drive, like I feel like I have the drive. If I decide to do something, I'm going to go for it. Like with the plan, you give me the plan, I'll do it. I did it. I lost 15 pounds. You tell me, you give me the steps on how to build a coaching business, I'll do it. It works. So follow the plan. None of these are even on my list, by the way, that I made. I'm just making it up now. But so the 3 things I wrote: structure and consistency, for me, are very helpful. If I write it down, again, I'll follow it. So I write it down the night before. I wake up in the morning. I text my clients. And I'm consistent doing the same thing every single morning, and it works for me. I like that. And also the second thing I wrote was, walk the talk. Like I practice what I preach. I really do. If I'm asking people to rein in their food and their drinking, I'm going to do the same thing. Of course, we all have our moments or whatever, but I am a huge fan of practicing what you preach. I don't think people are going to trust me if I am not willing to do the work. And I have done it, and I will continue to do it. And that is why I coach, because guess what? I don't want to gain my 20 pounds back. I feel fantastic, and I want to keep it that way. And I want others to feel that way. And I feel like they see that from me. My third one is to empathize and have compassion with your clients. I will say I feel like I have that. I've been massaging for 26 years, but this is a whole different ballgame. It's a whole different compassion and empathy, and I'm learning so much, not about myself, but about human nature in general. And if we're not learning and growing, honestly, I don't know what we're doing and why we're here. So I think that's really important to have that. And then to coach your clients, not to forget about them. I was having, and I don't know how you could, but I've had a bit of a slow month, I guess I would say. Like I've only brought on 1 new client so far this month. And I kind of was trying to think like, okay, what can I do? What can I do? And I realized I was like, I'm just going to tap into my clients, my existing ones. I'm going to just be with them even more than I normally am. And guess what? I think it's working. And so then that really brings me to like the last one that, you hear all the time is just do the work. It's easy to do and it's easy not to do, right? I think Donald says that a lot. We hear that a lot, and it's true. It is easy to do and easy not to do, but I'm having a ball doing this. I'm loving it. And I don't, I hope it doesn't slow down. I want to keep it going. I'm very grateful for Joy for introducing me to the program, because if I weren't doing this, I'm pretty sure I'd be a complete disaster. So thank you to Joy. And it's also been, it's just really fun. It's so fun to, connect with friends that I haven't for a long time and meeting all these new wonderful people. So I'm sure I went over by like 17 minutes, but I'll turn it back to Joy.
I want to point out that what Debbie didn't say was she had her own practice in the sense that she had employees, and she had a lot of stress of managing her employees, handling her overhead, and figuring out the pain of massaging for so long. Like she said, what would she be doing next? And she just closed her practice. And because she had this and is being fulfilled from it, the mental space wasn't so hard for her. So I think that's a really big thing, Debbie. And she is replacing her income pretty quickly. And she had her own practice for 20 plus years. So it's pretty cool, guys. It's really fun. I love this. So Justin, do you want me to introduce?
No, that's okay. I was just,
okay.
I thought you were going to introduce Donald, but I can.
That's what I was saying. I didn't know if you
Donald
wanted me to
doesn't really need an introduction, actually. But if we can keep the rubber band a little tight, Donald, we're gonna. we're doing awesome on time, actually. But yeah, man, go share away.
Oh, hey everybody. My name is Donald Miguel, and I've been a part of the Optavia organization for about 1.5 years now. I started this journey through poor health. That was my big qualification to be a health coach, get really unhealthy. So I accomplished that through years of practice. And Joy sent me a private message one day. Thank God, after 4 years, she finally said yes. And she took direction from her mentor who told her she had to be on Facebook. So she started a Facebook account. And that is how we reconnected after 30 years. I've known Joy since 6th grade. I grew up with Debbie, who just spoke to. I have another coach on here that since she was in like 3rd grade. So how cool is that we just get to build this business and create this empire with people we've loved our whole lives and spent our whole lives growing up with. It's so cool. And Kelly's on here. I've known Kelly since high school. It's just, it's crazy what we get to do. And it all started because, like I said, I got really unhealthy. I knew I needed to make a change. Joy reached out and let me know that she helped people adopt healthier lifestyles. And if there was anybody I knew that needed to get healthier, you know, just pass on her information. And then she made this little comment, oh, and I love all the pictures of your beautiful family, which when I think back, maybe it was her little subtle way of saying, oh, and I've seen you, you could use my program. So, you know, she's way too nice to do something like that. But anyway, so I jumped on the program. It was amazing. I lost 19 pounds in 19 days, 24 my first month, over 75 pounds in like 4.5 months. Results aren't typical, but obviously totally possible. And it just completely changed my whole world. And as a result of that, you know, everybody wanted to know what I did. My first clients were my wife and my mother, and I helped them, you know, change all kinds of stuff. My 74-year-old mother, the chronic yo-yo dieter, I always say she lost like 400 pounds. She just lost the same 10 pounds 40 different times. And she lost 30 pounds on program, she's been able to keep it off for a year, got up for 2 medications. It's been really amazing. And I really never thought I would do much with this coaching thing. You know, I just did it to help my wife and my mom. And then before I knew it, everybody wanted to know what I was doing. And, you know, like in 30 days, I hit ED and I didn't even know what an ED was. I remember being at an event in December with Justin in Ontario and Joy. And I was so new to this. And I'm like, hey, tell me, like, Joy told me if I have one more client, I'm going to hit this thing called ED. And he's like, yeah, man, just keep going. And so I was like all excited. And I was on this call a year ago with Jamil as a new ED going, yeah. And at the end, he's all, so, you know, I was like all excited and pumped up. He goes, so what do you guys think? You think Don's going to go to FIBC? And I'm thinking, I don't even know what FIBC is, but yeah, that sounds cool. Let's do that. And so I just kept going, you know, I just didn't stop. If I can tell you anything about this program, the number one thing is just to be authentic. Be real. You have an amazing story. Joy and I have completely different stories. And you know what? Last month we both hit, or in March, we both hit Integrated National. Our teams are doing amazing. It's incredible what we've created. And she's got a 10-pound weight loss. You know, Justin didn't have a weight loss. You don't have to have a weight loss to do this program. Jeanette, 20 pounds. You know, this program is so simple. You got to do 4 things. You got to acquire clients. You got to support those clients. You acquire coaches and you support those coaches. That's it. That's all you have to learn how to do. You have to do 4 things, and you just got to learn how to do those 4 things and do them really well. So be consistent in this business. Like Debbie was saying, the most important thing is you really got to be structured. Okay? If you don't plan to do the work, then you're not going to do the work. And like Debbie says, you're doing it like 10, 12 hours a week. That's it. And she's already at ED. She's building an incredible business. You don't have to do this all day. You don't have to sit on your couch from 6 a.m. until 10 p.m. like Jeanette did. You can, but you don't have to. Just have structure. You know, carve out certain times. You got to have time for client support, for coach support. You got to have times for business building activities, like reaching out, starting conversations, and you block out 60 minutes, and that's all you do is start conversations. And when you start to live in structure like that, you'll start to build this incredible business. And then the sky's the limit. Anything's possible. It's crazy. That's what I love. It's just we create something that's just beyond anything any of us thought possible. And I've watched so many people do it. And how fun is it that we're going to all get to do this together? I remember the first time Joy and I were sitting at Go Global last April. I'd been a coach for a few months. And we're sitting there and we're looking at each other. We're in Orlando, Florida. Dr. Anderson and his wife were up on the stage. And we're like, do you believe this? Look where we are. How many more people are we going to bring with us? Who's going to be here next year when we go to convention? Who's going to be sitting with us at convention? Who's going to be there next year? And you look at the picture from last year with Jamil's group. There's like 300 people there. You know, and the first convention he went to, he was all by himself. You know, so this thing's really powerful and it just starts to grow. And the only thing that's going to stop you from being successful in this business is you and your concepts. Get rid of the concepts. Don't worry about it. Just go. Just go, go, go. Don't stop. Be authentic. Be real. Live out loud. I mean, you want to attract people like you, right? So, you know, if you're the negative Nelly and you have all these concepts, guess what you're going to attract? You know, so give her the concepts, be positive, show how much fun this is. If you're not having fun with Optavia, then you are not doing it right. Let me tell you, because we have a ton of fun and it's just getting better and better and better. And I love, like Jeanette said, Debbie said, I love what we get to do. I can't believe this is what we get to do. How cool is it? It's like I don't even work anymore. I just have fun all day, every day. And you can too. So thanks, Justin.
Yeah, man. No, thanks. I appreciate it. No, I'm excited, man. I think tonight's call was amazing. I think a lot of it is about energy, consistency, doing the hard work at the end of the day, right? We have a lot of action steps that we can go through. We have a lot of structure we can talk about, but I think at the end of the day, if you're consistent, you're excited, and you're doing it with a loving heart, it'll explode. And the cool thing about the loving heart is it'll stay fun, right? Jeanette said it's fun. Kristen said it's fun. Joy said it's fun. Joe is having a blast. It's changed his life in many ways. Donald, just amazing stuff. So I'm super excited. And I know a couple of you guys probably heard this, people on the playback, new coaches, when I post this in our group. I really want to talk to you about a few things. One, I want to share Dr. A's story. I really don't think people understand. We look at a lot of our leaders, and we look at, the Dan Valentines, the Doug Woods. If you're new and you don't know these names, that's okay. It's not a bad thing. But you look at the Jamil Frasers, the Karen Elstroms, the Kim Fisks, and you all want to be there, right? A lot of us want to have a big business. A lot of us want to help a lot of people. That's still a big business. A lot of us want to help some people. It grows into a big business if we just stay and be consistent. But at the end of the day, we all look to Dr. A and say, wow, look at where he's at, what he's accomplished and things like that. But going back to where he started, we know some of the stats of him, right? He's 10th board certified critical care physician in the United States, graduated top in his class out of 150 people. The part he didn't really share up until about last convention, I think was the first time I heard him publicly talk about it, is he literally was in charge of 2 critical care units, making a lot of money, but he was tired of helping people die nicely, A, and B, he had built a custom home that I think he had spent less than one night in within a 7-day period because he was getting called into work every day. And that was the second breaking point, when he had to kiss his daughters goodnight, walking out of the house at like 2:00 in the morning, because he was like, man, what kind of life is this? So those are the 2 things he saw. So he packed up his bags. He drove across the United States to Oregon, and he lived on credit cards for 3 years in a basement, coming up with this master scheme plan of how he was going to do all this stuff. And I'm sure he got a lot of brunt and a lot of people saying you're crazy. But he had an amazing wife. He had an amazing family that partnered and embraced what he was about to do. But he did live on credit cards for 3 years, people. I mean, we really want to think about that for a second. When we're over here struggling and maybe we're living paycheck to paycheck right now and we're not sure what's going to happen and we don't know. But all I do know is what you've heard from everybody is the consistency pays off. 18 years later, he's living the life he wants. He just posted today about being with his daughters, and they're learning about history firsthand wherever they're at. I don't even know where he posted they're at. But the point is, though, is he's living that life, and he's impacted a lot of lives. Over 1 million people last year at convention he's impacted. So he's done a lot of different things with this. So I really want us to understand that when we're struggling, when we're living paycheck to paycheck, for you newer coaches that are going to see this playback in the future, for us currently now, there is nothing better than just getting to work, loving on people, and doing the hard work, because it will pay off as far as his story is concerned and as far as our stories as they evolve. That's the first thing I wanted to share. Second thing I wanted to share is, let me see if I can share my screen real quick. National convention, guys. These are the dates. Please, 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 if you think it's crazy to go, if you don't think you can afford it, work with your mentors on how to get there. There's 2 months between now and then. You guys can bring on 10 clients, and that will pay for your airfare, your trip. You can partner with somebody to get into a hotel room. I was asked earlier, what is convention? And what would it mean if I went? And I really couldn't sum up that answer, because there's just the one thing I can give you an answer for with this is if you go, or you don't go, and you either get that one thing that somebody's going to say to you that's going to shift your mindset, like Jeanette when she went. I mean, she literally packed up her stuff, put it in a storage, put everything on a credit card, and flew out there to go to this, and was really inspired and taken back. And now look at, she's about to hit the 13K club. She can start a new club. But the thing is it's changed her heart. So the thing is if you miss that one thing that somebody may say, whether it's 10 o'clock at night during our coffee debriefs, or you're in a hotel room with your people that you're sharing the room with, it, maybe you don't even know them, or it's in the trainings when Dr. A or Dan Bell or Dan Valentine or somebody says something, that one thing that could shift your mindset to then change your life and impact a lot of people. That's what National Convention is about. We're probably supposed to see over 10,000 people at this event. It's going to be amazing. There's going to be intimate times where you're hanging out at dinners, like I said, in your pajamas, at the mornings getting ready with people, or in the evening times where you're just debriefing and kind of soaking up all the knowledge. The energy that comes out of this event is insane. So please do yourselves a favor. Make sure you guys get there. Work with your mentors if you don't think you can afford to go. My first event was 400 people. It was a Kim Fisk event, and I threw everything on a credit card and flew up to Salt Lake City to go, and I was blown away. And as you see the successful people that go, they go to events. Follow the leader, right? Don't just follow them part-time or you'll get a part-time income. Follow them full-time and you'll get a full-time benefit and income. So it's really important to understand that. The second thing I wanted to share with you guys too is, where's it at? Is the, where'd it go? Disappeared. Anyways, it's the Rise Up event that's going to be in November. The reason I bring that up now is because I really want you guys to start working towards it. There's going to be a couple different qualifications. Those aren't up. Rankings are going to be for everybody to go, but it's just a matter of the price point on when you're going. They'll put those in later. But that's going to be in November as well in Arizona, which is going to be kind of fun. It's pretty local for some of us. For a lot of us, travel out, make it happen. You have plenty of time to build this thing to be able to afford to go. Some of us love to carpool. I know I'm already carpooling. I'll go by myself. I don't care. I just love the drive, love the connecting with nature, loving plenty of time to call people and make connections, right? Where you go and stop, take pictures. So just remember these events are powerful. So that's the second thing I wanted to share, the Rise Up event in November. The third thing I wanted to share with you guys before we hop off, and we're a few minutes over, is please, please, please build community. Build community, build community, build community. We just had an Elevate Now event that we just do every quarter. We're trying to build energy behind that. I will have one out here in California in August. Probably second Saturday of the month is the best time we usually do those. But local healthy happy hours at your house. I know Jeanette's working on one for herself. Joy and Donald are working on some too. Kristen, wherever you're at, please connect with those people. Bring your clients, connect with local coaches. Really bring the energy together, guys, and do this. We have some breakfasts we put together. We have different things, but those intimate times, like at my house, I invited all my neighbors. I got a neighbor I'm going to follow up with. He's a business owner. The guy drives from Fontana to LA every day. He owns a landscaping company. To give you an idea what that is, it's probably 2.5 hours in traffic. Every day he does that. And so there's different things that can change people. Like I said, this is not a weight loss company, guys. We are a full-fledged healthy body, healthy mind, healthy finances, and they all correlate. So just wanted to throw those things out there. So events are important to go to. Events are important to create for community. And then go out there and find those six-figure income earners that may be stressed out. Go out there and find those Joes that have, enlarged hearts and are on the brink of maybe not being here. Go out and find those Navy single fathers that need this more than anything. There's such a diverse area we can touch with this business, guys. So I appreciate you guys all hopping on. Thanks so much for staying on.
Justin, you're gonna do the rank up document? You're gonna go for it?
That's what I was thinking. Thanks so much, brother. That's why we coach his teams. Exactly that reason. Almost forgot the rank up document, Donald. Just kidding. But let me see. So this is fun, man. I'm really excited. So can you guys see this? Donald, thumbs up.
Yeah, we can see it. Can you make it bigger? I don't know. It's kind of small.
Let me see.
well if you can't.
Yeah, I don't think I can. So anyways, really excited. Joy Avini has hit Integrated National for the second month in a row. That just means basically for her as an executive director, she's duplicated herself 3 times. And she's also helped 5 coaches hit senior coach, which senior coach is acquiring 5 clients. This is a pretty substantial spot to be in your business. This is where your business starts to grow pretty good structurally. It starts to grow more on an equity base. If we understand that, we've heard some people running some high frontline volumes. There's a good way to do that as well. So Integrated National is a great spot to be, guys. That's where you really start to build depth in your business. Don Maydell as well. Don Maydell hit Integrated National. He'll get back up there soon. But this point of Integrated Regional, guys, this is another good pace too. Just so you guys know, there's people that go to school for 5 to 7 years and work at jobs for 5 to 7 years after that schooling to get to a place where this income can really start to get fun as an integrated regional director. As far as executive directors, we have Helen. Really excited, love her, love partnering with her. She's on her 2nd month of qualifying 5 points. So 5 points is basically having 5 clients duplicated 5 times for a 6,000 frontline volume. We got Jeanette, who's about to hit the 13K club. I think that's really excited. We got Greta. I'm skipping the last names because I don't want to destroy any of them, so we'll just go from there. But I'm really excited for these guys. Guys, this is a good structure for a full-time income for people to sustain their life. And this can also help people create a lot of options in their life. So we have Christy Anderson. Love her spirit, love her heart. She's working through a lot of self-development. And like we talked with Kristen, she's working and pushing herself as well. Sarah Chen and Chino, she's part of Christy Anderson's team. They're partnering together and working together. And like Joy said, working with people that you love and are able to partner with, that's amazing. We have associate directors, Joe and Connie. Joe shared his story tonight about how this physically saved his life. And that's really exciting. Sherry Hill with Jen Shoemake, they're rocking the Texas area. Let's make some prayers for them out in Texas because I know that storm, I hope it passed. Or it's out of there for sure because it was getting pretty hairy there for a minute. We have managers, Ashley Selvage. Stacy Tarzia was really upset she couldn't get on, but part of living life and being able to work from anywhere is she was at her kid's softball game tonight. But we're celebrating Ashley Salvage is hitting manager. Ginger Flora, she hit manager as well. Super excited for her. Jasmine Ramirez. Guys, what's crazy about manager is you really, honestly, if you hit associate director in the same month early on, you pretty much hop up to executive director, which comes pretty quickly. We got some senior coaches in the house. Wendy Delgado, Simone Washington out in South Carolina, which I'm really excited. I've had the pleasure of working with her. This lady has amazing work ethic. She's partnering with Don Schumann. Tracy Evans up in Boise, Idaho. She's Jeanette Palmer's team. I love the strand of Joy's leg because she's really bringing on some strong-hearted women, empowered women, and I think they're going to have an amazing business. Ashley Brown in Colorado, Jen Palmer again. That's where that 10K to 13K club comes in. You start to have these coaching partners pop up and show that stuff. Fully integrated business coaches, guys. We talked about that. Don Maydell, Joy. Really where you're starting to structure your business with 5 senior coaches, and that's actually bringing on 5 clients each, which is about a 1,200 frontline volume with 5 ordering entities. That's really important to know. Getting down here to the 10K club, like we said, Jeanette's about to hit that 13. Don Maydell's been there for I don't even know how long, rocking it as well. I think Jeanette said she's at 6 months. Don's probably been there at least that, if not longer. 6K club, we're talking about executive directors or higher. We have Joy Avini, Kelly Anderson, Paulina Rodriguez, Jennifer Shoemake, Greta. Super love these ladies so much. Somebody just got certified. Guys, if you're not certified and you're anything, I mean, to be honest with you, you get certified right away, but anything above senior coach, you're leaving money on the table. Certification gives you 3% more of your orders right away. And then you start rolling consistency bonuses every 90 days. 2,000 frontline volume, which is about anywhere from 7 to 8 clients you're supporting. You earn about $250 in a bonus every 90 days. At 4,000 frontline volume, which is right around 10 to 12 clients, you're earning a $500 bonus every 90 days. And then at executive director, it gives you all the bonuses, the 31%, everything. It's a 6,000 frontline, right around 17 to 18 clients. You get a $1,000 bonus every 90 days. So certification is important. You get that 3% right away, and then it goes in from there. So we have new health coaches, multiple in here. I'm not going to read them all off, but super excited for these guys. These guys will be rocking it to senior coach soon. Who knows, even to like we said, a lot of us have hit associate director blindly or manager blindly, and all of a sudden we're associate directors. So these guys are in the trenches making it happen. Really excited for all these guys. We'll see them on at our next Rank Up call next month. So Don, appreciate you, brother, for reminding me. It's always like we work as a team. Speakers, thank you so much for hopping on and sharing your hearts. Really look forward to seeing next month's Rank Up call and seeing who's all on. So you guys have a great evening. Thanks so much for staying on. We'll talk to you guys soon. All right. Have a good night, guys.